Welcome to this exercise where I'm going to talk about how to solve fractional equations. A fractional equation is something like in this example where the x is part of the denominator of a fractional expression. I should solve this equation, so let's get right into it. If I want to solve a fractional equation, the first thing I have to do is get rid of the fractions. And I can do this by multiplying with the respective denominators. So here I'm going to do this step by step. So I'm first going to multiply the equation with the denominator of the fraction on the left. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation, all four terms, with 1 plus x, giving me this result because here this cancels out. Then I have 1 times 1 plus x. Here I have 2 times 1 plus x. And here, well, this does not cancel out. So I have minus. And then I'm going to go putting this into the denominator. So I have 1 times this expression, giving me this part. Well, before I carry on, get rid of the second fractional expression, I'm first going to simplify a little bit. So I'm going to factor out and then going to bring stuff on the other side, simplifying this a little bit like this. Well, now I can get rid of the second fractional term by multiplying again here with the denominator. So in this case, 1 minus x. Again, I have to multiply all terms which are separated by minus or pluses. So I have to multiply minus 4 with this, x with this, and this fraction. So minus 4 times what we have in the parentheses equal to x times 1 minus x and minus this fraction times this. Well, here they cancel each other out and I'm just left with the denominator. But since there's the minus in front of the fraction, this applies to the whole part up here. So I better put this denominator into parentheses. Well, so far so good. So first let's get rid of the parentheses and then simplify this. Well, if I'm going to simplify, here I have as a term with the highest exponent, a term which has a square nature. So it's x squared. So this means I have a quadratic equation. For the quadratic equation, ideally I bring all the terms to one side of the equation. Then it looks like this. I'm going to bring this here so that in front of the x squared is also a positive value, ideally 1. Since there's 1 here, I can use the PQ formula to simply calculate the solutions for this equation. PQ formula needs a P and a Q. P is the coefficient of the x part, so here plus 4, and Q is the absolute term without any x part, so here minus 3. Then I can use the PQ formula. The first part, that's minus P half, so minus 4 halves, giving me minus 2's. Then to differentiate the two solutions, plus minus square root. Then I get P half squared, so 2 squared, giving me those 4's, minus Q. Well, Q is minus 3, so I have minus 3, giving me plus 3. Thus I have minus 2 plus square root of 7 and minus 2 minus square root of 7, giving me these two solutions. Well, now I have one problem or one step to go with. Since I have a fractional equation and I'm not allowed to divide by 0, the denominator of the fractional terms in this equation are not allowed to become 0. Now I can just insert both of these values in the equation, see if this works out, or I can take a look. When do the denominators actually become 0? Well, this one becomes 0 if x is minus 1. This one becomes 0 if x is 1. Since none of my solutions is plus or minus 1, those solutions are very fine regarding this equation. So here I have two solutions for this equation, which are also feasible solutions, meaning I'm allowed to insert them into this equation. And well, this brings me then to the end of this exercise. So I just say goodbye and see you next time.